Retail therapy, number 6. The dopamine hit. This is possibly the most visible one of the lot. And why is that? Because from my observations on happiness, there are two distinctly obvious measures. Those who are in debt yet happy because they can still afford to impulsively buy stuff, they're full of joy when purchasing whatever it is. Then discard it soon enough and then need this new hit of retail therapy to get the drug back into them. And then the second thing is those that are miserable because they don't have the money to do so. Thinking if they only had money, they can be more happy. And yes, money can buy you happiness. I've done another video on this one. But remember how I explained that happiness is nothing more than a shallow achievement. You know what's really funny? I find this really interesting. Those who buy stuff online and then they say how it brings them happiness. And while anticipating the delivery of the item, because they're chasing happiness, they don't know how to be with the frustration or the sadness when the product arrives late, doesn't arrive at all, or if the wrong product arrives altogether, or if it arrives broken. So can you see how hinging happiness to such superficial measurements is a self-sabotaging trap? What's the opposite of this one look like? Well, these people, they find joy in meaningful experiences rather than material possessions. The transition, well, that's really easy, I think, or it's easy for me because I'm an experiences person. Don't buy me stuff because I can go out and buy whatever I want myself. Gift me an experience, and it's the most joyful gift I can receive. Years ago, I saw something that read somewhere on social media, I'd rather have a passport full of stamps than a wardrobe full of designer clothes. And the same goes for luxury cars and a massive house and all that kind of stuff. Those words resonated so much that I lived it as a principle. Now, I remember back in 2018 when I was caught up with believing I would be happy if only I had more stuff. At the same time, I was realizing how much unhappiness all this stuff brought me because I never used it. So what I did was create this impulse buying rule for myself. I realized that my drawers and my house and my office, it was all full of crap that I never used and I didn't need, some of it brand new. So what I started to do was give it all away. I then told myself that if I wanted anything that was worth over $200, unless it was essential, of course, I had to wait 30 days before purchasing it. And then in that time, I would research about the product to see if it was a match. Two things happened in that 30 days. Number one, I realized how stupid it was that I wanted this particular thing and I forgot about it in a few days. I saved so much money doing this. The second thing that happened is that in my research and my learning and in my patience, I realized that the particular thing wasn't the thing I needed, but I did need something like it. So I found something better. It wasn't an impulsive purchase. It was more something that was suited to my needs. So another thing that works for me is focusing on hobbies, as I spoke about earlier. They offer an experience, and every experience offers a new learning, and every new learning offers a new way of being. But just be mindful not to trap yourself because many hobbies can lead to impulsive purchases. I learnt this very expensively in my many years as a fisherman. Now, my biggest go-to these days is personal growth. It can easily shift the source of happiness from material to experiential because what it does, for me, it evokes great conversations with like-minded people. I could be sitting there in my pajamas and having a deep, wonderful conversation about life and what it is to be human and how we go about navigating through the breakdowns in life and what bullshit stories are in the way of us achieving the things we want to achieve. All this great stuff. The things which enrich oneself and brings fulfillment, unlike a $200 pair of Versace underwear. So experiences always trump stuff. So go out and experience things. It will give you something to talk about when meeting new people and sharing what you have learnt about life. The last one, what do we got? Number 7, frequent distractions. Guilty.